Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan McGowan, and I have been a camp counselor at Abiding Presence for the past 2 summers. Some of you may recognize me from summer camp, singing silly songs with our campers and being chased around on the playground, or even dressing up like a sheep at service. But for a lot of you, I may be an unfamiliar face. Unlike a lot of my fellow counselors, I haven't been part of the Abiding Presence community for long. However, in my brief time here, I've quickly found a welcoming and loving community that I feel so fortunate to be a part of. My journey to Abiding Presence is unique. Growing up, my family didn't attend church. The only memory I have of church as a kid is going with my grandparents for an Easter Mass at their Catholic church. All I remember that day was counting down the seconds until I could go home and eat the jelly beans the Easter Bunny had brought me. While we didn't attend church, religion was still part of my childhood. I grew up hearing stories from my grandma and mom about their childhood experiences at church and how their congregations preached about constant love, acceptance, and kindness that Jesus practiced. I had bad anxiety as a kid. I was frequently overcome with fear before I would go to bed, and I would often pray when I was feeling overwhelmed or scared. I would ask God to keep my family safe, but I never knew if I was praying in the right way. Despite this internal faith, my family stayed away from organized religion. My mom was raised a Quaker outside of Richmond, but had bad experiences with churches in college, and struggled to find the inclusive and welcoming church that she had grown up with. I heard these negative experiences from my mom and was content practicing my religious beliefs on my own. That changed, however, when I started dating Allie Tingen in 2019, who many of you have all seen grow up at Abiding Presence. We started spending weekends together as seniors in high school, and her sense of humor, empathy, and passion to excel all amazed me. I was willing to do anything to get the chance to spend time together, including the uncomfortable idea of attending church. Only about a month into dating, she invited me to come to youth group with her, and I was absolutely terrified. First of all, I hadn't been in church since I was like 4, and I knew basically nothing about the Bible, and I felt a little bit like a fraud. What if someone asked me a question about the Bible or Jesus and I couldn't answer it when I came? Second, I didn't know anyone besides Allie or Aiden here. These people had been friends for years, and would they welcome a quiet 17-year-old? Anyone familiar with Abiding Presence and the people here probably would have laughed. Of course, Pastor Meredith and this community were going to be so welcoming, but I felt a lot of anxiety my first time coming. I felt overwhelmed the first few minutes that I stepped into Abiding Presence. I was the center of attention when we first walked in, since people had heard about me from Allie. Everyone was being so kind, but I had so little confidence in receiving that much attention that I just wanted to turn invisible. Next, we had to sing, and I absolutely panicked. It seems silly now, given how loud I sing at summer camp every day with our campers. But for a senior trying to seem cool, singing was the last thing that I wanted to do. But slowly I began to feel comfortable. Allie and I began to joke around, and I felt myself relax as she introduced me to Orion and Sarah. They might not even remember our first meeting, but when we split into small groups, the openness with which they shared their struggles and vulnerabilities instantly made me realize how safe people feel in this community, and I longed to feel that comfortable somewhere. Years passed after that, and due to COVID-19 and going away to college, I didn't return to Abiding Presence for a long time. I attend JMU, and I'm studying history and education with the goal of becoming a middle or high school teacher. However, there aren't very many clear internship opportunities for prospective teachers. Most go into summer camp or subbing, but I wasn't sure where to do that. I was dealing with lots of stress in my family as we were going through a really hard time, and the thought of planning a summer job on top of that stress was overwhelming. However, Pastor Meredith had heard from Allie about my job search and reached out and asked if I was interested in coming to be a camp counselor. She came to offer me the position and offered support and guidance to me during a challenging time. I had trouble discussing the issues that were going on in my family, but Pastor Meredith made me feel safe in just a 15-minute phone call, and I was able to confide in her and get much-needed support. After our phone call, I was excited to join the staff, but the momentary excitement faded. The same concerns from the youth group experience bubbled up again. I didn't know the first thing about the Bible. How was I supposed to teach a summer camp where the curriculum was centered around Scripture? I also didn't know any of the staff besides Allie or Aiden. What if I didn't fit in? Or what if people thought it was strange that I was working there when I didn't attend the church? The first day I came to work, I felt just as welcomed as everyone else. The first person I talked to was Peyton, who I knew went to JMU, but we had never really talked before. She didn't hesitate to start chatting with me, and we quickly began to gossip and share old high school drama, something we continued to do throughout that summer. That small conversation made a huge difference. I instantly felt more connected, and my fears of being seen as an outsider started to go away. I've had similar conversations with nearly all of my fellow interns, and they have all made me feel so included, wanted, and helped me regain my confidence during difficult times. That's what makes this place so special. We're more than just coworkers. We become friends that truly care about each other. I know so much about all of the other college interns. We share our struggles, exchange stories, and sometimes joke around more than we should. From hiking with Pastor Kelsey at Bull Run, to sitting in the back of Emma's car with 20 gallons of water, trying not to spill it, or going to the Glass family pool party, happy hour at Pastor Meredith's, trip to museums, and hopefully the Barbie movie next week. We spend so much time together outside of church and summer camp, and I'm so grateful for those opportunities to grow closer together. I hope to keep many of these friends I've created for a long time, and I'm so grateful to have been incorporated into the safe space that I saw way back in my senior year of high school. Not only am I grateful for all the connections I've formed with the other interns, but I'm also grateful for my 2 years as a counselor. Being outside all day and in charge of campers is exhausting work. I come home so many days and just want to take a nap, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I find my day constantly brightened by all the big smiles of campers as they learn, show each other kindness, and have fun. So many amazing kids have come into the Abiding Presence camps in the past 2 summers, and seeing them begin the week reluctant to leave their parents or apprehensive about camp, and then by the end of the week leave singing songs at the top of their lungs or run into the playground as soon as their car doors open make me feel so fulfilled and happy with the work that we do. I had doubts when I started being a counselor here if teaching was for me. The profession often seems so intimidating, and I was scared that I wouldn't be good at it or the demands would be too overwhelming. Instead, however, through this experience, I've learned that this is my calling and that I think I'll thrive as a teacher. I hope that I have helped to provide positive experiences for each kid that comes to our camps, that each camper leaves feeling like we cared about them and wanted them to succeed. I make it a goal every week to get to know each camper and let them know that I'm invested in seeing them have fun and succeed at camp. I hope to foster a similar atmosphere in my classroom to positively impact young people's lives. I've had the ability to learn so much about myself, solidify my career goals, meet amazing people, and make real friendships, and take on more responsibilities that will prepare me to succeed in any job, thanks to Pastor Meredith taking a chance on a kid that she only knew as Allie's boyfriend. She's been there for me during so many challenging times with a kind heart and emotional support, and made me feel so much more confident in myself. Through Pastor Kelsey, I've had the opportunity to hear from amazing speakers that help me learn about my faith and consider potential career paths. She's taken us into DC to museums that feel like the best version of high school field trips, especially for history nerds like me and Erica. She's so perfect for her role at Abiding Presence. She's facilitated so much learning about ourselves and the world and helped foster the creation of so many connections. She also has so many amazing life experiences, and every time I talk to her, I'm inspired to go on some crazy adventure. Through Michaela, I've had the opportunity to see how to handle the responsibility of ensuring dozens of kids are safe, learn, and have fun. Orion, Pastor Meredith, and I learned how difficult her job is when we ran camp for a week while she was at her wedding. And we all have such appreciation for all the work she does and all the effort she puts into camps. Through the CITs and high schoolers, I've seen tremendous growth in their confidence and their ability to do the seemingly impossible task of keeping 10 or more elementary schoolers and preschoolers engaged and on task. Through all of my college interns, I found a community where I feel like I belong and friends who are invested in each other and our futures. I'm so grateful for the connections I've made with everybody. And through Orion, who's been my partner in navigating all of the challenges of summer camp, I found a great friend who's taught me so much. She's always so authentic and true to herself. Sometimes my confidence in myself is shaky, but she is so consistently inspires me to be myself and has helped me be more confident in that. We've shared so many laughs, sometimes too many for Pastor Meredith, whether we're planning camp or going to Walmart. But she is also someone who I can turn to when I've had a rough day or share my fears and insecurities. Running through Justice Camp without Michaela was really challenging, and some days I felt like I was letting people down, but Orion was always there to pick me up. She's so dedicated to making sure camps run smoothly and is a great leader for all our group of interns. I couldn't have asked for a better co-captain. And finally, I'm so grateful for Allie for inviting me into this amazing community and always having my back and ensuring I felt welcome, safe, and loved. I'm happy that we can carry these memories we've made for the rest of our lives.